I am live. Hopefully Bob will be here in a minute. And Blacky and Sarah, I don't know. I don't think Ed's going to be joining us because I know he just got home from the clash today and he's probably really tired. And Rack might join us here in a little bit whenever he's ready. So hopefully it won't just be me boring everybody for too long. Excuse me for rubbing my eyes. My eyes are bugging me again today. I don't know why. But I'm here. So hi, Kat and Rack. And I don't know, there's 5 people in here. Chew. Hello, Chew. And let me see who else. Oh, there's Bob. Hey, Bob.
Howdy, howdy.
Grasshopper was here earlier. I'm sure he'll be back again. Hopefully. So what do you got going on tonight, Bob?
I just got up not long ago and took care of the animals. It's time to take a nap, but I didn't nap, but it feels better anyway. Of course, I'm doing my usual, eating my dinner on here.
I just ate a little bit ago, so what can I say?
And it's chicken and rice.
Oh, I had like a chicken sandwich stuff, like chicken and cranberries.
Ooh, that sounds good. I love cranberry anything.
Kat says, hello, Bob.
Hey, Kat.
So I didn't even check to see if Michael said anything or Blacky said anything about whether he was coming in or not. I don't know if Sarah's working. I think she's got off, but I'm not sure. And I know last time, no, he hasn't said anything. Last time she didn't want to come up because she's getting worried about having plenty of stuff done and ready for the show.
Yeah.
So we shall just wait and see.
What about Ed?
Ed just got home from the clash today, so I'm kind of thinking he's probably going to be too tired. But I don't know. Grasshopper said earlier that he saw him on his Dungeons and Dragons stream, and he looked extremely tired.
Yeah. Maybe he'll rest. That would be good.
That would be good, yes.
I'm just watering a few of my snakes and things that I can reach from this chair.
And Grasshopper says, Rack, I got the coffee mug, but I didn't get the print. It's probably coming.
Is Rack coming?
He said he might pop up here in a little bit.
Awesome. Well, I've got to ask him to remind me which drawing he bought of mine so I can get it sent. I think I know which one it is, but I don't want to send him the wrong one. You know. And for some reason, I'm clad, not scantily clad, but clad. I have on pants and shirt.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
I don't know how the hell that happened.
Look at this.
Wait, I just went over to the comments. Ah, how cute.
It's a doe. A winter time. Well, actually, it was getting fall, so she's getting kind of fuzzy.
Is it a mule deer?
Yep, it's a mule deer doe. And like say, they get in the wintertime, they look like puppy dogs. They get so hairy to protect them from the cold. But this was like late in the fall, so she was just starting to get fuzzy wuzzy.
I have a phone appointment with the doctor tomorrow. Like a telephonic phone appointment with the camera and all that. I've been having some weird symptoms, so I think it's all the medicine that they're giving me for diabetes.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'm itching my ass off. Can't sleep for itching.
Huh.
But
That sounds like that could be a medication. Maybe, I wonder if it's an allergic reaction to something.
I tested to see if it was my pain medicine and went without it for 2 days because I sometimes forget it 2 days anyway. And it didn't help, but we'll see. A doe, a deer, a female deer.
Sandy, hello.
Hey, Sandy.
Oh my goodness.
I bet it's already cold up in your neck of the woods.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
No, I mean Sandy.
Oh, Sandy? Oh,
Yeah.
she's usually warmer than me.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of times anyway. Kat lives at British Columbia. I don't know. Is it cold there yet, Kat?
That must be the water effect then or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sandy says no, it's warm.
Wow.
We've been having like days in the 50s and 60s. And nighttime in like 39, 38, and like upper 30s or low 40s.
Let's see. Let's see. In a minute, I want you to blow me up, but not yet. Not yet.
Husky. Mid 80s in California.
Okay. I'm finally ready. Well, I'll be damned. It took me so long. I was going to show you that new ball python, the boy. He was sitting right there looking at me, but he got bored of it, I guess, and went on.
Well, I see the one in front. Is that the one you're talking about?
Huh?
The one that's moving in front, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. See, his head's way back there, though, now.
Yeah.
He was sitting right
Oh, yeah, I see his head back there, yeah.
He's another one that I got to do the water. His I've got to clean out before I put water in it. Yeah, he was sitting there watching, but by the time I got the camera turned, he was gone. His head was gone anyway. I'm wanting him to be like a pet I can hold like the girl. I've done it once with him, and he was pretty good. All right. Oh, wait. Turn this hooker back around. That would make a good jazz song, you know it? Turn this booker back around. I saw a clip from some movie. I can't remember what the name was now, but it was a Medea movie. It was funny as hell, like they all are. While I was supposed to be sleeping. Back to the comments.
Blacky sent us how his son's cages that he's making are turning out. Look really cool. Wonder if I can scroll up and show that to everybody. There we go. He's like foaming them in these pictures, so I'll show them real quick because they're pretty cool. He's been showing us the nice big cages that he was working on, but yeah, he's working on filling them in with foam and getting ready, getting everything set up.
coming together nicely.
Yeah. That just looks really cool. I imagine he's going to put some plants in there, and that'll look really neat. That's how you make like terrariums for dart frogs and stuff for the backgrounds. Is use foam like that, and then you spray it with foam, and then you carve the foam out. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hey, Mojo.
Yeah, George did some awesome backgrounds like that. The guy that was supposed to be on Friday night canceled a while ago. Brandon. Well, but I'll try to get somebody a replacement or move somebody up. He's got to work overtime, he said. I was in court today for a while, and they let me go.
They let you go?
They let me go.
They had you and they let you go?
And the judge knew I was there. One of our volunteers chose rather than be in jail to do a program where you have to be working, or if you're disabled, you have to volunteer. So she took the volunteer, and she graduated. The whole class graduated, I guess, but she was funny. The video of her was funny. She asked him for a kiss. I said, "You've been asking me for a kiss since the first day." It's quite an accomplishment, though, you know it. Stay clean and sober, and
That's always an accomplishment. I hope she can keep it up.
yeah, I think she will. They check them real closely. I don't know for how long afterward, but she's had to have urine collected and hair follicles and nail clippings and all kinds of shit. I'd be taking me some extra hairs with me, you know. I think. Staying sober is very easy. Yep, I haven't had anything to drink in probably 20 years. I'm not allowed to drink at all in this pain management program, but they busted me for NyQuil once. Hey, Chew.
Hey, Chew. Hey, Chew. Oh, my goodness. Legs are starting to ache tonight for some reason.
We got a new cool dog at the Ark. I don't know what she is. She's like 27 pounds, but she's really funny. Did I ever show you the video of her the other night?
The one that was playing with the beagle? Yeah.
Well, today was her first full day there. So she got along well.
Oh, I see Rack. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Rap.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Pam. Thanks for allowing me up. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Will you remind me what drawing I need to send you? I went in there to get it, and I was going to mail it today, and I nailed it down to 3, but I couldn't decide which one it was.
I don't remember. It was your first one. The first one you sold.
No. Yeah, it's the only one I've sold. I've given a couple away, but I don't remember which one it was.
You can give me a kiss goodnight. She's camera shy. Sorry, guys. You don't get to see that.
Hey, if Rat can show his face, anybody can.
Am I right?
Right?
I mean, you got to quit caring what these other people think that don't matter and just enjoy yourself and get in the community and give people some love and acceptance that we all want.
That's it. And if Rat doesn't scare everybody away, nobody will.
I'm trying to be scary, but that's changing, Punchy. I'm getting a haircut. And
oh, you are?
Yeah,
this
you're not.
First I've heard of that.
Well, I just thought of it not long ago, and it's just time to, just I don't know, rejoin the ranks, I guess. So one of these days, I'm going to pop in here, and you'll say, "Who's that? What happened to Rack?" Bob makes clean cut look so good. I just can't resist anymore.
It's probably sticking straight up in the back from the pillow.
Never hair out of place, Bob.
What about that?
Bob, how's that false cobra doing?
He's doing fine. He's right there on his heating pad.
What's his name?
I don't know. Does he have a name?
No, I don't know.
No. I've got some good suggestions, but I don't remember any of them.
I'm so bad at reading chat. I'm out of the habit, and it's very active tonight. Everyone's so great in your live streams, Pam.
A little bit slow right now, but Chappie stopped in. That's pretty cool.
I haven't seen Chappie in a while. Chew is here. Cat McKenzie said hello.
Pennsylvania, so I bet he's on his break from work and went to see a relative or something.
Wow, what's up? Wowway got his coffee mug, yay, but he didn't get his print. Well, all I can tell you is they were shipped the same day, Sam.
Uh-oh.
Hang in there.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he wouldn't show the coffee mug because he wanted to show them together.
I understand. One major reveal. Sandy Dottie's here. Benoxky, hello. Mojo Lycan.
Mojo is from the Denver area.
Oh, okay. Beautiful, beautiful area. Lots of great craft beer.
He's one of our mods on the King Frostmere channel. Hi, Adam.
Gotcha.
As is Cat, and as is Wyway.
Yeah.
And who else? Too, if she comes in.
She's not here yet, is she?
Not yet. Nope, I haven't seen her yet tonight.
Who else is going to join you tonight, Pam?
Well, I'm hoping Blacky and maybe Sarah, but I'm just kind of waiting to see.
Okay. Bob, did you get any mail from me yet?
Yeah, he opened it.
Okay.
I did an unboxing.
Last stream because we were hoping you'd pop in so he could open it in front of you, but you didn't.
I got it 2 days later, and I didn't open it on my Reptile stream. I waited till Pam's stream, but
Very nice. I hope you're pleased with everything.
I was.
Good. I may have thrown you some extra stickers in there or something.
Yeah.
I just go ahead and figure everybody loves stickers the way I do and share the love. My wife
So do you have any shows coming up, Rack?
Got any what, Pam?
Shows coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My wife and I went to Asheville for our anniversary
Asheville.
last weekend. We went over to the Mass General Store there in Asheville.
Where's
Picked up some
Asheville?
stickers, Asheville, North Carolina.
Ah, okay.
And Asheville, by the way, swaps off with Boulder, Colorado about every year. One of those cities or the other wins Beer City of the Year.
Oh.
So recently, Sierra Nevada and New Belgium have built breweries in Asheville, along with the myriad of craft breweries. Most of them, some of them.
I'm not sure what's in Boulder. I've been to Boulder quite a few times, but I'm not sure what's there. The Budweiser plant is pretty close to Boulder.
Boulder has a great outdoor infrastructure. I went through there and counted. I was going down the small street, beautiful town, 4 sidewalks, one on either side of the road, and then 20 feet off the road, 2 more sidewalks. So one for pedestrians and one for bicycles in each direction. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And
Boulder is like a for what's the word? Like yuppies. It's like Yuppieville. Boulder has like I worked there for a while. Like,
did you?
Yeah, and they have like a 25-cent. Was it 25 cents or was it 5 cents? Anyway, they charge you for plastic bags at the grocery stores in Boulder.
Adam, maybe Rack will send you a sticker.
Yeah, look at this reptile here. She needs a sticker. She's a reticulated retriever.
A reticulated retriever.
Who's wanting a sticker, Bob?
Adam
Reynolds says he has a big sticker He's a big sticker collector.
We'll have to get together, Adam. I've got a few here for you.
If you email me your address, Adam, I'll send you stickers next time I go to the post office, which is going to be in a couple days here. Within the next couple days. Tomorrow, probably.
You can go the same day Rack gets his haircut.
Yeah.
Which won't be long.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I wanted to go earlier, like Monday. I had everything all ready to go, but then I had to wait to get my PayPal transferred over.
Hey, if you're in chat, and
that's my Gmail address, and if you want to send me your address, and just put stickers in the subtitle. Girl, hello.
Hey, Coro. If you're in chat and you've heard me mention that I'm getting a haircut soon, go ahead and put your guess in chat when you think I'm going to actually get my haircut.
Oh, we could do a gambling thing over it.
Winner gets a sticker.
There's Blacky.
Adam, I've got a stack of stickers here for Adam. The next time I get mail out to him. Good to go. Hi, Blacky.
You guys put a date. I put 9/29 for my date.
I think you might be early. It takes me longer than that to walk to the barber, Pam, but we never know. You never know.
Carl says 9:30.
Coro, yeah, I appreciate your encouragement. I don't know if it's going to happen that quick or not. Hey, Blacky.
Hello there. How are we?
Oh, I'll put in a
Talk
second
about
guess.
long-haired.
We're all guessing what day he's going to get his haircut.
I'm getting a haircut, Blacky.
Yeah, I heard that rumor. I still
Yeah.
call bullshit.
Well, we're guessing the date. You might be right if you want to put
Oh,
a date
right.
in.
Is that's the competition, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with Bob's guess. When hell freezes over. How you going,
I'm
Bob?
going to guess
Temperature
October
Cooling
31st.
off.
Now, I guessed October 31st, but keep in mind that I didn't say a year. So it'll kind of carry through if you miss the first one.
Oh, bam. You blocked out every year, October 31st.
Yep.
No, Coro. No, and if they do, that doesn't count. No haircuts in the sleep.
G'day, Trav. Hey, Kat, Huawei, Coro, everyone else.
Your haircuts are like anything else. When you get out of the habit, it's hard to get back in.
Well, that's why I still trim my sides off, get the undercut going. So I still feel like I'm having a haircut every once in a while.
I need to do that too. Definitely have 2 lengths of hair because of the undercut before I let it grow.
Gonna need it because today and yesterday have been incredibly hot here. Well, not incredibly hot, but hot enough to be concerning for the upcoming summer.
Over 100 degrees yet in Fahrenheit?
Nah, probably only high 90s, but it's like heaps humid, and after a nice coolish winter, when you get shock days of around 30 degrees, all of a sudden it's quite the shock to the system. Lol.
You're talking about 30 degrees centigrade.
Celsius.
So that's hot. I hear 30 degrees is cold.
Yes, nice and cold for you guys. 29 and sunny, my computer's now telling me. I had to hover over the weather, though, because it said the moon was out and it was 17 degrees. For some reason, it was still stuck on last night's weather. But yeah, it was even warm through the night. Quite unpleasant. But at least there's still a nice coolish breeze blowing. I heard your quality burp before, Bob. That was good.
I was trying to save that for you because I was drinking this water and I leaned up and forgot, and it just kind of happened.
It's all right. I'd just come in as you did it. Yeah, I thought you were actually leaning forward into the microphone to make it count.
No, I was reaching for something. Probably more water.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a haircut by a hairdresser for probably 20 years. Or paid for a haircut by a hairdresser. Because in the last band I played in, our drummer was a hairdresser, and he used to do our hairdos before gigs for free.
That was nice. That worked out.
Yeah, considering his his starting price for dues for fancy ladies and stuff is about $150.
Nice.
Starting.
Yeah. Think of all the money we've saved, Blacky. All these suckers paying to get haircuts.
Yeah, absolutely. Even a man's haircut at a barber is at least $20 these days.
Yeah, I was going to say 25.
It's probably been 10 years since I've paid anybody to cut my hair, but I normally don't because my hair's got enough curl to it where I can chop the hell out of it and it doesn't show because it kind of curls and covers everything up. So that makes it easy. I usually stand in front of the mirror with a pair of scissors and just start hacking away at it.
Fun time.
Like I say, if I've had other people say, "Oh, you could cut my hair," and I'm like, "Oh hell no," because straight hair would be a total disaster with me cutting it. The only way that I get away with it is because my hair is curly enough.
Well, he says it's $20, but he tips $5.
Yeah, when I would get my hair cut, I'd always leave a tip too, but I need to cut my hair again, but since I hurt my arm, I have trouble like raising my one arm above my shoulder. So it's like hard to like, because I usually just hold my hair up and then chop it, you know, in front of the mirror. And it's hard to do that when I got one arm that won't go up that high.
Pam, you could get the senior discount now.
Thanks, Bob.
You said, oh, fuck, I've got this chat.
Oh, Bob.
I don't think they do senior discounts for haircuts.
Yeah, they do. I get one. I always make sure I go on Wednesday, and it's 14 instead of 20. And I give her the $6. Yep. Yep.
G'day, Adam. Sorry, missed you as well in the hellos. And Chew, and who else did I see? Mojo, if they're still here. G'day, Chappie. Well,
Chappie's another one who's saving money on those haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He did say before that he can't hear us because he's in a loud environment. So
Pennsylvania.
Is Pennsylvania notoriously loud?
I guess it depends on where you are. There's pro.
He's
pro
probably out on
athletic
the
teams
of the
there, so they
karaoke
can get
bar.
loud.
He can hear now. Welcome back to hearing.
What's dry split ends? I'm horrible at hair care.
That's where your hair breaks in half.
What would be an even more interesting wager would be who can walk to get their hair cut quicker, Pam or Rick?
What do you say, Pam?
It might take Pam until October 31 to walk to the hairdressers.
Yeah, it probably would.
I don't know if I would make it. I don't have a nearby barber. I'm not in the neighborhood with a barber. Maybe if I had a sign that said "looking for a haircut," someone would pull over. And
do you all have mobile hairdressers over there that come to your house?
not that I'm aware of, but we have mobile dog groomers, so maybe we do.
Get the dog groomers in.
You know what? You can't get an appointment with them, Blacky. They're so booked.
Yeah.
Like a boom business during the COVID. No appointments available.
G'day, Divine.
Hello, Divine.
Yeah, my folks get a hairdresser come in when they need a haircut. She always comes dressed all skimpy and stuff to get a rise out of Dad, I think. I'm not sure if it's deliberate or that's just her personality.
Cora with the ideas. Yeah, I think I could pass as homeless.
Just don't wash for a week. Put your oldest, daggiest garage clothes on.
I need help getting a job. That's what I'm going to say when I get my hair cut. Why'd you do that, Rack? Job interviews.
Long-haired, freaky people need not apply.
Someone said that it was so bad getting help that long-haired hippie people can now apply.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like in the States, but down here, hair and beards and earrings and stuff don't seem to matter nowadays.
I think we're progressing in that direction. Places like West Asheville are way ahead of us there, but
I'm sure there's certain fields of employment that they still give us stuff, but for the most part, I think they're just frightened of being called out for discrimination. Plus, they still want the best person for the job, no matter what their hair looks like.
yeah, and with all the work from home opportunities, I think we're getting there, but you guys are probably ahead of us.
I think you probably could, I'm still back on that conversation, ask a barber to come and trim your hair, cut your hair like if you were homebound or something. Because guess who cuts dead people's hair? Barbers.
True.
And fixes their hair and stuff.
Yeah, I used to have a friend that did that Huawei.
I've heard of that before too. I've never done it, but I've heard of it before.
Hers was she'd do it in a bikini though.
Maid service, is that what they call it now?
I don't know if they'd call it that. They probably call it that if they dress up in the appropriate French maid outfit.
Chappie standing his ground.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Chappie. 100% agree.
I bet some people get jobs because they have long hair.
Wonder what that would be criteria for. What job?
Long-haired models, hair product,
Mm-hmm.
extras in movies. Really cool people.
Yeah.
Doing cool things.
Have a Currawong sitting on my bird bar, which are notoriously renowned for murdering small birds, especially raiding nests. And every time I've got a little red-browed finch sitting here on rope that they like to hang on. And every time it peeps, the Currawong's looking around looking for it. And the finch, there's like a big bundle of rope, like a big knot in it. And the finch keeps getting in behind the knot to hide from it. But yeah, the rest of the finch's flock has disappeared, so this lone one on its own is probably shitting itself.
Oh, hey,
G'day,
Vic.
That's a pretty bird.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, I feed about 20 to 30 of them, all coming in all throughout the day. But when it's windy, they make a hell of a mess because all the seed husk just blows all around the floor.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, there's one positive about that is they're encouraging me to sweep my floor. I think I've swept it twice in the last week.
There was a similar bird in Hawaii called a common waxbill. Little seed-eating finch that traveled in groups.
Well, these guys seem to be breeding all through winter. They're
So
constantly bringing new babies to the seed tray. Now I've just got a flock of Australian ibis fighting each other in the back paddock over my chicken carcass I threw out before.
Whoa. I'm going to look it up, but in the meantime, what color are Australian ibis?
White and black. They look pretty much identical to the Egyptian sacred ibis, but they, I think it was
Black-headed.
Yep. And they get when it's breeding season like it is now, I believe I'm not sure if it's both sexes, but the males get this patch on the back of their head that goes a bit pinkish, and they also get it like shin guards down the front of their legs. I'd love to start a drop bear farm, Chappie, especially if you're the primary investor. But yeah, they're constantly around at the moment, and I think they're also looking to breed because there's lots of fights for dominance between the males. And I only just cleaned the bird baths yesterday, and they're already picking up bits of chicken and putting them in the bird baths to soak them.
I've never heard of a drop bear before.
That's pretty much the most famous photo of one because they're very elusive. You rarely see them. If you do see them, it's generally the last thing you see.
I'll bet.
Yeah, that's true, Corey. Definitely a underpaid profession. It's like teachers and nurses deserve a lot more.
That's exactly right. When I was an EMT, I went back to school.
When I was at EMT, it was like a volunteer thing. And then the next step up from an EMT was a paramedic, but the main difference was the paramedics could give shots and we couldn't.
Did you start IVs, Pam?
I didn't. No, we mainly set bones and that type of stuff.
I thought I was good at setting bones, but I failed dismally. That's all it can do. Yeah.
It was quite the training program that we had to go through and then take a state test and stuff.
Yeah.
And my ex-husband was kind of a jerk, and
So
I decided to become an EMT, and I had like 2 classes a week. And he gave me so much to do that I never had time to study or, get ready for any of the tests or anything. It was college courses. But when it came, we were like halfway done with the class, and we had this big test. And we were supposed to hand in our workbooks and stuff. And I was like 4 chapters behind on my workbook. And everybody had been getting together for weeks studying for the tests and stuff. And I hadn't even had a chance to even look, let alone study. So we were getting ready to take the test, and I was pretty nervous about it. And the teacher told me, he said, don't worry, Pam. He said, this is just a halfway mark. It isn't going to make any difference on whether you pass or not. And he says, and I know you haven't had a chance to study like everybody else has been doing. He said, just don't worry about it. So we got done with the tests, and he had some EMTs there that graded them and stuff, and they put like the highest score on top and then on down, And I got the highest score in the class. The teacher couldn't believe it. I remember he was looking at the stack of papers, and he looked at the EMTs, and he says, "Is this right?" And they said, "Yeah, that's right." And I got like a 96% on that test.
That's awesome.
You're so smart, Pam.
Most of the people were in like the 60s and 70s. And then the same thing happened when it came time for the end of the class, get our license and stuff. It was a state test. So we didn't know how we did until we got the papers back, because the test got sent into the state for grading and stuff. And I finished before, and I hadn't had a chance to study again, but I finished before everybody else. This is something I learned. Never go back, because I finished before everybody else, and I went back and double checked my answers, and I changed 2 of them. And when I got my results, I missed 2 questions. And guess which 2 they were? The ones that I went back and changed. Those were the ones that I got wrong. But it was the highest score in the class and stuff. And you know what my husband had to say about it? He looked at me and says, well, I hope I'm never one of the 2 that you got wrong. That was his way of congratulating me, I guess. He admitted to me after I left him that he had purposely tried to sabotage me because he was afraid that if I became an EMT and got out in the world and stuff, that I would leave him. So he didn't want me to be an EMT, so he was trying to purposely sabotage me.
Selfish bugger.
So, yeah. No, Rack, the whole time I was growing up and stuff, my dad always told me that I was stupid and would never amount to anything. And my
Sorry to hear that, Pam.
My ex-husband kind of took over that role. But I'll tell you what, I mean, you can call me a lot of things, but I'm not stupid.
No, you're very bright.
I'm not stupid at all.
Smart and talented.
The other time that showed up is years after that. I went to I was going to the community college in Portland, in Oregon, because I wanted to take some computer classes because everything was switching over to computer, and I didn't have any experience with computers at all. And I was kind of thinking about maybe becoming like a medical transcriber.
Yeah, tough work.
I was kind of toying with that, but anyway, I went and took a couple computer classes, and one of them I remember was it was basically like Computer 101, and the other one was dang, I can't remember what it was. Another computer class, but I don't remember right now. It was like office stuff type stuff, but anyway, it was they were both self-progressing classes, so you just went in whenever you had time and during the day and signed up and signed yourself in, and they had like a professor there that just kind of was there to answer any questions or anything, and you kind of like went through the book and did the tests, and then at the end of the book the professor would give you a test. So at the end I like did it for a week, and at the end of the week I had 2 classes done and the test done. And so I asked the professor for the test for the end, and she says, "Oh, you finished chapter 1 already? That's great." And I was like, "No, I finished both the books. I need the end test for both of them." And she looked at me and she says, "You realize," and this was after I took the test. I got 100% on both tests. So she told me, she says, "You realize that these are geared to, they're supposed to take you 48 hours total for each book." And she says, "You came in here for a week, 2 or 3 hours a day, and finished both of them." So she says, "Stay right here." So I'm like, what the heck? So I sat there and waited, and she came back with like the dean of the school or whatever, and they sat there and tried to talk me into taking like the classes to become a nurse, and which is like a 4-year course, but they said that I could like challenge the courses and take the test beforehand and probably skip a lot of them. But at the time, and I still don't really regret it, I didn't really want like a big career like that, and I didn't really want to go through all that, so I didn't do it. But they really, really tried to talk me into it. But anyway, that's enough blabbing for me. I was just saying I'm not dumb. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not dumb.
No one would ever accuse you of that, Pam.
Oh, I've been accused of it before, but like I say, I'm not dumb.
Where'd Bob go? Is he feeding animals or something?
Well, he's in the chat.
Kaler's Aquatics and Reptiles.
Yeah, I think the best thing is if ambulances and fire trucks, etc. Obviously, police cars have already got them, but if they've got dash cams and they can record people not getting out of the way, then they should be, putting that in as evidence to get people done. I read dumb on the screen and I said dumb instead of done. Because they don't have to get dumb. They're already dumb if they're not getting out of the way of emergency vehicles. But that's all they need is dash cams so they can record license plates and book them, don't
They should do it because there's too many people that don't pull over like they should.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so many times myself. And the other thing is people that pass school buses when they have their stop sign out. That is just, they need to catch those people, all of them.
It was probably about 20 years ago, they put a law in for school buses that when a school bus pulls over, it has flashing lights on the back and a 40-kilometre-an-hour sign. So people have to slow down to 40 kilometres to go around a school bus when it's pulled over, which I think is incredibly sensible. And school zones, I suppose you have school zones as well, where
We have school zones, yeah. And the school buses have little stop signs that come out when they're letting kids off the bus, and you'd better stop behind them. You're supposed to stop. And I know when I lived in Portland last time, there was a young kid that got killed because the school bus stopped and put the signs out, and somebody went around him and he was crossing the street, and they hit him and killed him. And the stop signs were out, so yeah.
Bob wants to know why you left EMTing, Pam.
Oh, I just got so busy working and stuff that I didn't have a lot of time. I did it for a couple years. And then I got, actually, basically it was when I moved to Portland that I quit, so.
Pardon me. What day is today? Wednesday.
Still Tuesday over here.
Yes, I'm
5 minutes.
Thinking for
5
me.
minutes.
Is that all?
Yeah. Well, in the east,
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah, I got 2 hours on you.
Check that lottery number for us, Blacky. Trash cat.
I think one of them, I think Powerball is up to 835 million or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
Tonight's draw.
If I win, I'm going to give all you guys $5.
$5.
Thanks, man.
All right.
USD, baby.
That's like $47.50 here.
Holy shit.
I should check the exchange rate at the moment. Wait, why has it disappeared off my page?
I got my training back, Portland, Oregon. They probably do pay them in Portland, but I'm 68 years old. I'm not going to go back to doing that. And there's Trash Cat.
There's Trash Cat. Everyone asking. Lurking and flirting.
Chappie says $835 million. I don't get out of bed for less than a billion. They had one that was $1 billion here a couple months ago. It was Mega Millions, I think, was over $1 billion.
Yeah. Chappie has standards.
Yes.
$1 will get you $1.57 Australian dollars.
Wow.
So I think that's what, 63 and a bit cents. Be a great time for Sarah to sell some art, but unfortunately I don't think she's going to come today because we've been hectic as all morning trying to sort out shirt designs for the expo.
Fun times.
I've been on the phone with the guy who's going to do our shirts and getting all the specs required, and we're still running out of time. So she's trying to get a bunch of the images that she wants on shirts for the expo finalized and actually done properly so we can get it underway. We're such bad procrastinators.
We all are. Human condition.
T-Roo.
I got some of my Christmas cards back. Pam, you want to see them?
Yes, I do. Let me blow you up.
G'day, Trash Cat.
Oh, yes. I love that.
I don't know. I've packaged them 6 cards in 6 envelopes for $10. We'll see how they do.
That's a pretty good price.
It's cheaper than others I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to the store to buy Christmas cards, they're more than that. That's cute.
Yeah, Chappie, an oil baron like you would be a bajillionaire as soon as you step foot on the shore.
I carved that little guy and then did some graphic work on him.
Very cool.
He's a flats fisherman. I call him Sandy.
Love that. Nice.
So I'm ordering 1 set of these per week to keep production costs down. So it looks like I've been ordering for 4 weeks. I have one in the mail, 5 weeks. And then Friday I'll order another 6 weeks. I'll have 6 different sets. And we'll see how it goes this Christmas.
Nice.
And I think I may have shown the little the green fly happy holidays.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Love that guy.
That may be the one that's in the mail.
So I guess, Divine, that confirms that they don't have them in ambulances currently. But yeah, I think most people, if they got stuck with a fine for not doing it, most people would rectify their behavior. Some people wouldn't give a stuff and keep going. The problem with dash cams, insurance and liability.
TJ.
What do you mean, Chappie? Hi, TJ. Yeah. I can't stand them, Wiley. Gross.
Why did Bob disappear into the chat?
Blacky and I made him feel uncomfortable with his short hair and everything.
Oh, it was probably me talking about my classes and stuff. I should have just kept my mouth shut.
I don't know why we made him uncomfortable. He's the best looking one on panel.
I know. He's not comfortable in the limelight. He could send us a thank you card for making him look so good.
That's right. That's right. If anybody feels like getting a drawing tonight, I have this one here, a little card.
What in the world is that thing?
What?
What is that?
You don't know?
Do we have it in the East?
Probably not.
Okay.
It's a mule deer.
That's
It's a
what I
mule deer
thought.
doe. It's a mule deer doe, and it's like late in the fall, and she's just starting to get woolly looking. They get to where they look like puppy dogs or something in the wintertime when it's real cold.
So, how big does a female mule deer get? What would it weigh?
I don't know.
I think
They're bigger than a black tail or a white tail.
I think
but
they're
I'm
quite a
not
bit
sure.
bigger than our white-tailed deers.
Yeah, they are. Oh, he got nauseated after eating, so he's hugging a can and laying down. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bob. I hope you feel better.
Yeah, that does not sound like fun at all.
Well, let me see that. Blow yourself up and let me see that mule deer, Pam. Is that a card?
It's a card, yeah.
ACO?
Yeah. But it's got a lot of good colors and stuff in it.
Like brown and tan and black and white and gray.
Yeah, a little bluish gray and some black and some like pinkish and then some reddish and then some brownish. But anyway, yeah, that's the card there. It's a mule deer doe.
What are you going to start the bid out for that?
Oh, it's $20 like always.
Does that include shipping?
Yep.
$20 includes shipping?
Yeah. Female mule deer are roughly around 100 pounds, give or take.
Those
male-
things I thought.
Males
you're
can be
heading in,
anywhere
Happy.
from 280 to 320 pounds.
See you next time, Chappie, if you are leafing.
Is Chappie leaving?
Later, Chappie.
See you later, Chappie. Thanks for stopping by.
We have a $20 bid on the mule deer from a gentleman called Rack Cross.
This will probably
you.
postpone my haircut if I win.
Oh, oh my God. No.
I think that's called an excuse, not a reason to bid on it.
But who's
Give you an
counting?
excuse.
Who's counting? We're all friends here.
Every time you postpone it, it gets closer to the 31st of October. Then Pam wins the bid.
Oh. Let's see. If it were 25, so I could buy a mule deer for $20 and a lottery ticket for $5 and potentially be nearly a millionaire and have a great art collection.
But still not have a haircut.
And still have long hair. Yeah, I'd be a testimony to all of those with long hair. You too can be a billionaire.
It's absolutely nuts that it's almost October already.
Yeah.
Yeah, my birthday's in October.
So's my oldest son.
That's
My
right.
youngest birthday is October 29th. The due date was actually October 31st, but
That's when my oldest is on the All Hallows Eve.
yeah.
Is that the one building the snake enclosures?
No, that's his older brother. The oldest one is the one on the 31st. The next one down is the snake enclosure kiddo. Oh, I've got an update on them too. I showed Pam and Bob and that the other day, but I didn't show them on here, did I? I only showed you guys the foam job. I'm going to bring up a picture of that to show.
What's wrong with long hair? Divine Lover. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything wrong with long hair.
There, I'll show his progress with the foam in one of the boxes at the moment.
Oh, wow.
So basically what he's done is he's used spray expanding foam and then carved into it the, what you call it, textures and shapes and whatnot. And then if you look down the bottom of this one, do you see my mouse cursor if I'm wobbling it around?
Yes.
Yeah.
So down here is a hide built into the foam.
Oh, cool.
And a little shelf built in here. But where the hide is, as you can see demonstrated here, he's made it so one of the pieces of foam is removable.
Very cool.
To expose the hide, and then he can, you know, if the snake's being troublesome or whatever, he can get at it. And then he's going to use, I can't remember exactly what he said, like some kind of mortar mix that gives it like a gritty, sandy surface and paint it with that.
Yep.
Okay.
The whole lot. But yeah, I think he's only got, well, when he sent me these pictures, this was the only finished one, but the one below it, as seen in the first picture, still had some, like it had foam in it as well. But I don't think it was anywhere. Yeah, you can see the foam in the bottom one, but it hasn't been carved or anything yet.
Oh, yeah. It's a good comparison.
So yeah, it's coming along superbly. I think they look fantastic.
Indeed. Great update.
I got to get my butt down there today or tomorrow when he's home from work to check his progress in person. Because yeah, last time I looked at him in person, there wasn't any foam in him.
Coro has a question for you in chat, Blacky.
Yeah, just reading that. Electric charcoal starter things. Yeah, I was going to say you'd want good ventilation to be burning that foam stuff. But yeah, I think he's a little bit like me and has OCD with certain things. And so yeah, I think with when you use heat to carve the foam, it can get a little bit like you can go too far, and once you've gone too far, you can't go back with the foam. So I think he's just using carving knives and spatulas sort of things to carve it out, because he's got a very, very clear picture in his mind of what it looks like or what it's going to look like. And once he's set in his way, he's dead set in his way. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Doesn't quite work, does it?
Crikey.
So, guys, we got a $20 bid on the mule deer. If anybody else wants it, you need to say something now or forever hold your peace.
They don't want me to get a haircut, Pam. They're not going to bid. They're going to let me have that in lieu of a haircut.
Bob just sent me something. Let's see what he sent.
What do you call it when you go male pattern bald and you still have long hair in the back? A skullet. A skullet.
Best
Party.
one I ever saw, Devin Townsend. Do you know him?
No.
He's excellent guitar player and musician. Long history of solo albums, but he came to fame as the singer on Steve Vai's Sex and Religion album. Fantastic album by Steve Vai and Devin Townsend. And he had a band called Strapping Young Lad, 4 albums they did, and then pretty much Devin Townsend just went on solos, and it was pretty much all solo stuff, even though he had multiple different band names.
Bob sent me a TikTok thing, and I've got to like totally sign up for TikTok to view it. It's asking me for my birthday and all that shit.
Forward it to me if you like, and I'll check it out. That's him. There's your skullet.
Party in the back, out of business in the front.
Now he wears it completely bald now. If you want to be blown away by a video and hear his impressive singing style, check out Kingdom EMG TV, I think. He does this semi-live version of it for EMG TV. It's an excellent highlight of his singing ability and his comedic personality. He's a very, very funny lad.
My goodness, it's going to take me an hour to scroll down to 1955. You know that, don't you?
You can just forward it to me, and I don't have TikTok on the computer.
Almost there.
It's so annoying with those things how you can't just type it in, isn't it?
I know. I'm down to
Like Corey
1963.
Corey says you don't have to sign up for TikTok to view it. You can watch it in browser.
Oh,
And Huawei
well,
says don't
it's
do it.
making me.
It's a trap.
It won't let me watch it without signing up for it. I'm
Did
just
you
going to
just
leave it
click
at 1963. We'll call 63 good. Now drag the slider to fit the puzzle. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. It won't let me drag anything. I suppose this is one of those you're not a robot things, but it won't move for me. Okay, I give up. I'm going to try to send it to Blacky. Because I just freaking give up.
Yeah, the worst thing about TikTok is, even though it's like terrible and scammy and spyware and all that stuff, there's so much good stuff on there. I mean, I only watch it once a week for a little while, but there's some awesome Australian comedic stuff on there that I enjoy. I'm pretty sure China already knows all they need to know about me.
Okay, I think it's there now, Blacky.
Roger.
Pam, I went to the Asheville Art Gallery while I was there and saw some Andy Warhol works.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Roy Lichtenstein. It was a lot of fun. It was a pretty cool gallery. They had moved to a new space. Looked like they had room for a couple of Pam Earlywine works in there.
I was reading something the other day that I thought was interesting, but didn't surprise me too much. It did surprise me a little bit. You know, you of course have heard of Thomas Kincaid, right?
Oh yeah.
Did all the cabins in the woods and
The
shit.
painter of light, he called himself.
Yep. You know that his work, now that he's dead and stuff, his work can be found about anywhere for like $20 for a painting. It did not shoot up in value like a lot of artists do after they die.
He was the last of the Mohegans exploiting that print trade.
Yeah. And the thing is that he sold so many, and he did so many of them, and they basically are all the same, but he did so many of them that they're basically not worth anything. So if you go to a garage sale and find an original Thomas Kincaid, it ain't gonna make you no fortune.
So Bob's TikTok shows a mule named, or donkey, sorry, named Diesel went missing. I think it said 2019, and he's found a family in a local herd, and it looks like they're all mule deer.
They're all what?
Mule deer, I think. Hang on,
Oh.
I'll hold it up. Try and view it without some glare.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let me
Those
see.
look like caribou.
There's the donkey.
Oh. Let me get her out of the way. Sorry, Scungy.
Pretty donkey.
I think they might be elk. They're elk. Those are elk.
Elk or caribou?
They're elk.
Habu, caribou.
Elk in Wyoming. When I was a kid and we used to go arrowhead hunting all the time in Eastern Oregon, there's this one place where we went that had, like, there's a couple of herds of wild donkeys or burros. I think they were burros. But there was this one day we were out there, and he was kind of following us around from a distance. He was real curious about us, but he had one torn up ear that was all floppy. So we figured he was probably a male that had just gotten run off from a herd. Didn't have a herd of his own yet. And I remember when we went to bed that night, got the tent set up, he kept us awake half the night because he was like really curious, and you could hear him clop, 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 getting closer and closer to the tent. And my dad was afraid he was going to get tangled up in the rope, so he'd like pound on his pillow. Then you'd hear trot, 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 always with him. Trot, 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 as he crept back in close again. I know that was a boring little story. Sorry.
G'day, Debs.
Oh, my eyes are so blurry again tonight. I don't know why they're blurry, but they are, and I can hardly read the chat. But I'm going to say that Rack, whether you wanted to or not, looks like he has bought himself another drawing.
There's another month off haircut.
Saved by the art.
Why is Bing so needy?
Now, where did that come from? There is a lady that makes food in her toilet.
What?
Is she in prison?
I don't know where that came from. Yes, that is disgusting. Now, I have had my food called crap before, but I don't make it in the toilet.
A bit backwards. Yeah, she's doing it the wrong way. Does that mean she poops in the fry pan?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's what Adam meant by she's doing it backwards. Sorry if I keep looking down to still in bulk conversations with Sarah over things. I want to try and keep her as stress free as possible.
good lad.
Stop.
How's your guts, Bobby?
Still gutty, still nauseated. I thought that shit in the frying pan would set me free, but it didn't.
I was just going to say, yeah, if anything was going to make you hurl, that would do it. That at least clears up that it's a physical feeling and not based on an emotional state or anything.
Yeah.
Because that would have done it.
And the fluid is in the bathroom, and they're saying one way, one way, one way, one way, as many times as he can say per breath. Here he comes. Nope, passing through to the kitchen. He's not a good nurse, I'll tell you that.
Cruel, Wale, cruel. I had an ex-brother-in-law who couldn't stand the texture of mashed potato, and all I had to do was say mashed potato sandwiches, and he'd start. Just the thought of it would make him almost vomit. So, you know, being a precocious teenager, I used to do it quite often, and it never failed.
Oh.
It was a surefire method of if I didn't particularly want him in my company at the time, it was a guaranteed way to make him leave. But it was also fun. I thought the pinching between your thumb and your index finger was for headaches.
That's what I was thinking. Also,
I think the way you stave off nausea is you put two fingers down the back of your throat and get it over and done with. G'day, GRB. How are you, bro?
Hey, GRB.
How's the temps over your side of the country, mate? It's pretty warm over here today. You're probably hotter than us, though. Been having it warm lately, I think.
does the weather go?
GRB.
Does the
Say
weather?
again, Bob.
Does the weather tend to go east to west then in Australia?
No, not really. I don't think it has any particular direction because we're such a broad country. And, you know, most of our civilization is coastal. So GRB's way over on the west coast, and he's affected by weather happening from the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
And ours is all affected by the Pacific Ocean over this side. But yeah, I'm not sure if we've got a record of weather traveling right across the country because it is such a vast expanse.
Most of ours comes from west to east. Most of it.
But yeah, I'm by no means a meteorologist, even by amateur standards. I'll just tell you it's hot or it's cold or it's raining or the wind is cold. That's about my limit.
Warm mayo. I love my mayo to get warm on my burger. I love that. It's good stuff.
Blacky, have you seen the weather rock?
The weather rock? I don't believe so.
It's a small rock on a string. You can mount it on the side of your house to tell the weather. If it's wet, it's raining. If it's moving, it's windy.
I've seen a version of that that's just a piece of string hanging on a piece of wood, and it's got all the yeah. If the string is wet, it's raining. If the string is moving, it's windy. Yeah. I think wouldn't putting a rock on the end of it prevent you from necessarily being able to see when it's windy? I suppose if it's only a little rock. Arkansas. G'day, Cragos.
DRB says 35 degrees Celsius today.
Yeah. That's 6 degrees hotter than it is here right now. We've got 29. With a 5% chance of rain tomorrow. I don't like our chances by the look of the skies. I think I'm fooled into thinking it's slightly cloudy because one of the neighbours over there was doing some burning off today, so the sky is a bit hazy with all of his smoke. It was so thick earlier today, I had to rush my laundry off the line because I didn't want it smelling like a campfire. Apparently toilet seats have got less bacteria than your kitchen bench too, Trash Cat. Depending on how clean your toilet is, I guess. If you don't clean your toilet, it's probably a misnomer. Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking, Craig, was that I saw on the news earlier in the week that there was fire bans initiated all around New South Wales for the bushfires that were burning down south. And I thought they'd upgraded that to fire bans all around the state. And I thought old matey might have been breaking the law by having his fires today. But, you know, apparently he's gotten away with it. But yeah, maybe it wasn't right across the state. Maybe it was still down your end.
Pam, how's that drawing coming along?
Coming, but not tonight because my eyes started getting blurry about 5 o'clock or so. So I can't work on anything right now because I can't see.
That's yeah, not too far. I mean, it's still a good 3-hour drive, but that's about 3 hours from me. Up on the Great Dividing Range. One of my sisters lives out near there, just north of Tenterfield over the Queensland border.
If it's gone, it's a cyclone. I like that.
People from around here, because Tenterfield is like probably the closest place to here that gets snow when it gets wintry and stuff. So there's loads of people from around here that as soon as there's a snow alert for up there, they jump in the car and head up there to go and check out some snow. I've still not done it though. I probably should one year so I can try and see snow before I turn 50. I might have missed my chance though. All this global warming and stuff. I mean climate change, sorry. I hate calling it global warming. because it's doing other things. It's not just warming, it's changing. Our seasons are shifting.
Yeah, we're going to have an early winter here, I'm afraid. But right now we're well into fall. It's like I noticed the trees outside are like almost totally turned color already.
I noticed the first maple
Leaves are
turning
starting
today.
to drop off a little bit.
Where was it, Bob? Was it in a lawn or up on the side of a mountain?
It was, I was going through downtown. It was in a park
Oh, wow. It's good.
just here in town.
There was no Blue Ridge Mountain leaf activity yet over the weekend when we went across. I
Wow.
was surprised. And last year it was late October. We went to the beach the third week of October and everything was green, and we came back and it was turning. Everything was yellow and
Well,
red.
I remember when I lived over on the East Coast, we go up to New Hampshire and Vermont when the leaves started changing because it was so pretty up there. And the main difference, like it's pretty on the West Coast when the leaves change, but the sugar maples on the East Coast,
Right?
what makes the difference? Because those sugar maples get almost fluorescent colors. On the West Coast, you get like a lot of green fir trees and stuff, but then you get the pretty colors mixed in with them, which is quite attractive. But on the East Coast, it's just like it's totally different. And like I said, the brightness is those darn sugar maples get so bright.
Divine says it's been raining there all week. Trash Cat says it's slightly warm in Upper California that week. And you're talking about winter coming, Pam.
Yeah,
You're right in the middle.
winter is coming here.
I think we've only had 4 hot days during the spring already, and yeah, I'm already sick of it. I want winter to come back around.
Same, Blacky.
Oh, Bob, don't say it. Short days, no leaves, dreary skies.
Yeah, pretty soon it's going to
Outdoor
be dark
activity.
at 5 o'clock.
Time changes this month too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, we've got our daylight saving changes this weekend.
I think it's November here.
Yeah, I think we go. Ours changes, then in 2 weeks' time, some of the states changes, then 2 weeks after that, the rest of the states has changed. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, he's good, Huawei. We were playing some DayZ last night. Did we establish in the past, Huawei, that you and him share the same birthday?
November 5th is when it changes here.
Yes.
Every single link.
Remember one trip we made to New Hampshire, which is another big difference between the East Coast and the West Coast. But we went to New Hampshire. We wanted to get photographs of the leaves changing, and there's a lot of covered bridges in New Hampshire. So I wanted to get covered bridges and the leaves changing and that kind of stuff, you know. So we went to see this one covered bridge, and we decided there was like a gravel road that went across it and then up the hill. I was with my aunt, so we decided we'd go up the hill and see what was up at the top, or see where the road went. So we went under the bridge or over the bridge and up the hill, and at the top of the hill was a really old graveyard. So we got out and we were poking around, and a lot of the gravestones we couldn't read because the weathering was so bad on them and stuff. But there was a lot of them had these little round bronze things, and then they held like little flags or little flag holders. So I went over to check those out. And you know what the bronze plaque said? On a bunch of graves off to one side, it said veteran of the Revolutionary War.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty wild that you can still read bronze. What was
Yeah.
that, 200 years ago? Longer.
I thought it was pretty cool. On the West Coast, we don't have graves that old. We have there's one place I lived off a little ways back off the highway. There was a old graveyard with like wooden markers and stuff, but they were like from the pioneer days. You know, they weren't like from the Revolutionary War. That's old. When I lived on Cape Cod, there was a lot of old gravestones there, and a lot of them would say, be surprised how many of them would say, you know, son of such and such and lost at sea. A lot of graves where they were lost at sea on Cape Cod.
Take it easy, Adam. Thanks for hanging out, mate. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for stopping by.
See you, Adam.
Later, Adam.
A lot of people are bored with me talking about old gravestones. I've always liked poking through old graveyards and reading these stones. I don't know why. I just find that kind of stuff interesting. Yeah, there's a couple in Oregon. I remember seeing a couple, and a couple right across the river in Washington. There's a couple really old ones too, like across from the Portland area on the Washington side. There's a few old covered bridges. And I remember I went to the Old North Church in Boston, which is where they did some of the filming from Moby Dick, I believe. And that old church there, but they have big, I don't want to call them signs, but big, not really posters, but old writings on the walls that are framed, and they have they're listing like shipwrecks and the people that were lost in the different shipwrecks.
Speaking of shipwrecks, Pam, there's a very interesting story in North Carolina. During World War II, the German U-boats were sinking ships off the coast of the Outer Banks of North Carolina because the lighthouses would illuminate their silhouettes at night, making them sitting ducks. And there was a British ship out off of Ocracoke, and a torpedo hit it, and it sank almost immediately. And 4 bodies of the British soldiers washed up on Ocracoke, and the locals buried them in a small plot. When I was there, I visited it. It's now it's at the entrance of a small trailer park, which is a real anomaly. Such a small island. So the 4 unknown British soldiers, the state of North Carolina gave that to the Soldiers Grave Commission or something. So for all intents and purposes, that is British soil. And
Oh, wow.
every year the Queen would send a new British flag to fly over the gravesite. So I think that's pretty cool, but I'm not sure why Britain didn't reclaim the bodies, the remains.
It's probably cheaper to cheaper to send a bit of cloth each year than move some
Right.
bodies.
Right. Keep them. They're not doing us any good anymore. Here's a flag.
The Queen never liked pissing off her auditors. And by which flag do they fly? Do they fly the Union Jack or do they fly the white one with the red cross?
I'm guessing since it was a warship, it was Union Jack. But I'm going to look it up on the internet now because it knows everything.
Generally, the England flew the white flag with the red cross on their boats, I thought. But I think also generally around the world, people understand the British flag to be the Union Jack. But England's flag is the white one with the red cross on it.
Yes.
Great Britain's flag is the Union Jack. I think that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong, people that know. Go away, mate.
Let me see.
Oh, I wasn't talking to you. Escape dog. Where is she? There she is. Whip it. That can be a bit difficult to get off. You get it? Watch out for bendy eyes over there. No, that's all right.
You're so retarded, Worm. You were barking at a dog on the internet. Yes, you are.
Oh. Is there a combination of both flags, Blackie?
Well, I think the Union Jack is the combination because it's got all the blue and extra stuff over top of the proper English flag. But yeah, I don't really know what the difference is. I mean, I know what the difference is visually, but I don't know about how each one was created.
I'll show you what I've come up with after cursory research.
There you go. That's England's flag. Oh, I see. They've got the Union Jack up in the top left. So they're covering both bases.
So that's like a hybrid flag?
Yeah, actually, I think that may be the one that England's Navy does fly nowadays as well, and probably has done for the last couple of wars. But yeah, that'd be interesting to look into.
So it sets England as a part of a bigger consortium.
You know, Great Britain includes Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and England, and then England itself is a separate country, but they're all together Great Britain. Northern Ireland is separate. I think Scotland wanted to be separate too, but most of Scotland voted against separating from Great Britain. Or was that from the European Union? I might be conflating a whole bunch of different crap.
You better not.
That flag I showed you was pictured at half staff shortly after the Queen died.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I had to buy my turn.
That's pretty decent that they show the respect all the way over there still for a death.
Yeah, little Ocracoke Island. They've given them nice headstones also. Tiny, tiny little cemetery.
You're off. Yeah, thank you. How many of them were there? Just those four?
4. Yeah. 1942, Ocracoke Island, North Carolina.
What is it
Not
called?
too far from
Ocracoke.
Kitty Hawk. Kitty Hawk is where we discovered aviation.
Don't know about that, Divine. I don't think you know Australian flies. They go and bathe in the vinegar and sugar water and come back for more. Fly swatter's the best.
GRB asked about a Navy flag. I think that's the consensus right now, GRB, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that one with the white with the red cross and the Union Jack up in the corner. I believe that is what the British Navy flies these days, and probably since Horatio Nelson's time.
It's the first one that pops up in a Google search for British Navy flag.
Yeah.
But it's also shown an upper left Union Jack in the upper left corner of a solid blue field, a solid red field, and then the white and red cross also.
Naval flags are an interesting beast because they all signify different things for the boats that are flying them. So potentially the ones with solid blue and solid red and whatnot are, particular boats maybe carrying particular ranking soldiers or something. I'm just posticulating. Vexillologist. Thank you, Coro. I was so struggling to vexillologist, I should say. I was trying to remember that word just before to try and sound smart, but I lost it from my mind. The people that study flags. Vexillologist.
Wow. Yeah, the white ensign, they call that flag.
Mm.
Also worn by yachts of the members of the Royal Yacht Squadron and by ships of Trinity House escorting the reigning monarch.
Yeah, but I want to be a big word nerd, Corey. I got to try and remember my big words. It makes me feel special and important.
Flags with Sheldon. Flag dweebs.
Hey, Steve.
G'day, Steve. I wonder how many flags from around the world I could identify. Quite a few, I think. But what is there? 200 and something countries on the planet. I don't think I could name probably not more than 100. I'd be surprised if I could.
That reminds me, I have an old set of, I haven't had them out in years, probably over 20 years. It was a collectible back in the 30s or 40s of, I think it was Tampa Nugget cigars. And you could collect like, I don't know, 5x7 or 5x8 print of the native dress and flag of each country. those things were cool when I got them, found them at an antique place back in the 80s. I've had them for
Yeah.
a long time.
Cool.
I was going to frame them, but never got around to it. Of course, there were only a few countries back then. Fewer countries.
G'day, Mesa. Mesa snuck in too.
I don't know many flags at all, Blackie. That's outstanding. You might be able to pick off 100. And I'm trying to think what part of my public education system to blame. Maybe that should have come up in geography.
I think it. Oh, she better shut that gate properly. I'm gonna have to go and check if that girl shut the gate when she rescued her dog back. I'll be back. Yeah, I don't think the flags is from education. I think it's just one of those things that my memory retains. I gotta go and check this gate.
One thing in America, we have one flag, and that's a lot of landmass. You can go a long way and still be in America. When I went to Europe, I was surprised at how quickly you could be out of one country and in another country.
But I've heard too is like, yeah. Oh, that's cute. Penguin.
Yeah, I carved him. I gave him some tails. He's wearing his tails. When I did my art show, I put him in the freezer. And when the gallery owner found him, she thought it was neat and left him in there for the whole show.
Rack, what is your state flag?
I've got one. I've got a facsimile here. It's called the Tri-Star, and I've replaced it. Look, Bob's got one too. Yours is upside down, Bob.
Well, then you've got the canvas on the back upside down. Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do. Sorry about that.
Damn it.
I call this the Tri-Fly instead of the Tri-Star.
Yeah.
Tennessee has 3 major divisions: East, West, and Central. And our state is so long from East Tennessee, I can be out of the country faster than I can be out of the state by driving west, because Memphis is so far away.
Yeah. It's true.
I think I can go to Canada at Niagara Falls faster than I can be out of Memphis into Arkansas. Thank you for asking. I love to talk about my state. Cora.
Yeah, I could be in Colorado in less than an hour. And I could be in Nebraska in about an hour and a half. But to get up to the top of the state where Dan has his warehouse and stuff, Dan's Fish, it would take me about a 9-hour drive to get up there.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coro. Here's new work this week, Pam.
Oh, let me blow that up. I remember seeing those on Facebook. Hang on, let me blow you up here.
They are Altoids, Tim. I was trying to work that out when I saw your picture of it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2
Like
Altoid tins.
Like a trout, brown trout.
Trout skins, and I've turned them into fly boxes.
Oh, look out.
Oh, very nice.
That's a solid idea. Good merch rack. Good merch.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Maybe
this
one
stuff on?
day. I'm using them right now. I'm very fond of them.
What's on the inside of the lid?
So
Marshmallow.
that one had a small magnet, and I was able to get a couple more after the cork was full. I was able to get a
Okay,
couple
right.
more little egg flies on the magnet.
Yeah, I thought they were marshmallows in case the fishermen got a little bit peckish.
No, but the fish think they're marshmallows. Those are egg patterns, so it's egg laying season, and it's okay to fish those things right now. And it's really good bait. And now I have really good boxes to carry them in. And
Yeah.
at the fly store, they like to ask me if I'm ready to give up my Altoid tin and get an actual fly box. And I say, oh, you mean the plastic ones that are imported from China? I love them, but I also love making my own.
I don't see a reason why you couldn't take them into the fly store and pop them on the counter for sale. Apart from the fact that you're obviously using them.
There's another one. So they're all unique, but they're all the same.
Yeah.
You see the ombre on that paint? Oh, so proud that it came out well.
Nice.
Is that how you say that word?
Well, it depends, Blacky. we murder the king's language any way we want to.
I'm Australian, so I've always just pronounced it umber. We don't do R's too well.
We went to Bar Harbor to see the puffins, and there was no R in the alphabet. It's like, who needs
Bar
that?
Harbor.
Yeah, Bar with park the car in the garage, you bastard.
I'll be back in a tick.
They don't use R's, and I'm from the South. We don't use G's.
I know Boston. In Boston, they don't pronounce the R's.
Craig's Catfish Cave is getting work done. At least 2, GRB. At least 2 time zones. What time zone are you in, Bob? Are you Eastern or Central?
Eastern.
Is Chattanooga Central?
Eastern.
So it changes over there somewhere.
Yeah, it's about 30 miles or so toward Nashville that it changes.
So GRB, another Australian with superior geography skill. Look what I found, Pam.
Oh, nice.
Remember when I used to do these little thumbnails?
Yeah.
This one is Thunder. I painted it July of 2020. Found it out in the studio today.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thunder. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, you were okay with the commission I sent you, Pam?
Oh, yeah, of course. That was way too generous of you. You didn't even need to do that.
Oh no, it wasn't. I needed to do that. I should have done more. And everyone got their art shipped, except one person who didn't include the mailing information in the PayPal. And Huawei I had to ship his separately. He got a print and a coffee mug. So the coffee mug arrived, but the print hasn't got there yet. So keep an eye on that. Bob got his, obviously.
Yeah.
Bar Harbor, Maine is awesome, GRB. I'm glad you got to visit there in the 70s. Did you go out and see some puffins? Well, he's not going to show his, but he got a little mug like this. Much different color scheme, radical color scheme on his.
Yep. Nice colors.
Anti-color. I'll have to check it out, Coro. Oh, yeah. Holy cow, they make a lot of bait, don't they?
Who's that?
Coro put a company in the chat, 412 Bait Company or Scared Fishless Tackle Company. Yeah, I don't know how they print that on there, TJ. I ordered that from a promo company. I sent them my image and they just did the application. I don't know how it's done. Do you know, Pam, how they put graphics on coffee mugs?
No, I don't know.
Nobody knows. Good question.
If you knew, we'd have to kill you.
Divine's going to the Glass Museum in New York. I'm going to see a glass artist in March at the Biltmore.
I started to ask you if you went to the Biltmore while you were in North Carolina, but it sounds like you had to wait.
No, we had a nice anniversary meal in downtown Asheville and made plans to go to Biltmore, but we didn't make it this weekend.
I used to be a season ticket holder there, and for several years would go all 4 seasons. And I used to love their wine.
Yeah. Yeah. Chihuly is the famous glass artist that's coming back in March. Chihuly. And Bob just finished, tonight, just finished power watching Downton Abbey. All seasons and both movies.
Wow.
Was it worth it?
It was just entertaining all the way. The writers were better, in my opinion, than American writers. They tie up everything in a hopeful manner, and I can't wait to go back to Biltmore now that I've seen Downton Abbey and understand more about the great houses, and how they ran and operated.
I smashed out The Mist TV series yesterday. 8 episodes, I think.
How was it?
I enjoyed it. I never saw the movie and didn't read the book. It's based on a Stephen King novelette. But it was, good horror, scary kind of stuff.
I think he has a new book just out.
Wouldn't surprise me. He's a little bit prolific, that guy.
Yeah. That he is.
I need to talk to Susie about coffee mugs. That is a great idea, Debs. Why haven't I done that? She may be able to make some for me.
Susie Q.
Yeah. Divine's familiar with Chihuly. That's really cool stuff.
She made our reptiles mugs. Really nice.
I have a friend who's a glass artist, but I don't think he's done any work in the last few years. He's been busy with his new career. But he built himself his own massive big kiln to fire his glass stuff and was on a big roll for quite a while, selling lots of splashbacks and stuff like that.
Oh.
Custom stuff for people's kitchens and bathrooms.
I saw a documentary a few months ago. I may have already said this about how they make marbles, and this family that's done it for like 4 generations. And I think it's here in Tennessee. At how they pick the colors, and it's just really interesting how they do that.
Yeah, I've often wondered how they get those little feathery bits inside marbles and stuff. A little oven thing. You know, the one my mate built, it's like 6 feet long and 3 feet across. Lots of insulation around it. Gets to ridiculous temperatures because he was doing, you know, massive big sheets of glass at a time. I'm sure it's the same sort of kiln as what you need for ceramics.
Huh.
No.
Wow, look
Wow.
at that.
Show starts in March at Biltmore in North Carolina. You guys come on over. We'll call it a party. Maybe have tea on the lawn.
They have some world-class gardens and
Oh, yeah.
not hot houses. What am I trying to say? Greenhouses.
Yeah, and you can buy out of the greenhouses too. They'll sell you their stock. Kat, that was an image of Choluli art. The glass artist, world renowned, and he's coming back to Biltmore in March. Probably has several exhibits across the United States or the world right now, ongoing.
Yeah, thanks, Divine. I definitely, it's like I said, it's always been a thing that I've been interested in knowing how they do it. So I definitely watch that.
Kat's heard of him.
For what? For what? Probably not the kitchen knife though, because there's other knives you could use. There's like open the garage and get. Back in the tick.
Whoa.
Oh, what is that?
That's a Chihuly original.
Oh, wow.
How many do you want?
What's the price on it?
Can you see it down there at the bottom of the screen, Bob?
No.
$250,000.
Wow.
Well worth it.
Francis, come on, let me throw a line.
One of these days, Pam.
When you win the lottery, just get a solid Chihuly.
Bob, when I win the lottery, you can spend your $5 that I give you any way you want to. I think an investment in Chihuly glass would be excellent. Is that lid propped up on that terrarium and the snake crawling out? Is that what I see?
Yeah, this is our little ritual. When she wants out, she glass dances, and I'll let her out. And usually she'll come this way, but she's going the other way tonight. She's wanting to be held for sure. And I could use a good neck rub. Definitely. Girl, come here.
I'm waiting for Bob to get a cobra so he can like have it wrap around his neck and massage his neck. Like a king cobra. Bob, you need a king cobra.
Right. I want to keep all my digits.
Well, that's a pretty snake.
TJ, there's the StreamYard link is at the top of the chat. If you can always just come into the StreamYard and show us your artwork if that's what you want to do. I'm sure everyone would like to see anyone's artwork in here.
Yeah, that's right.
Divine has seen a Chihuly piece go for over, his pieces go for millions. Well, there you go. Pam and I have goals.
And that's what I'm trying to convince Scungy at the moment. She's having a period of doubt. So I'm trying to reinforce self-belief in her and faith.
What's that snake's name, Bob?
Orchid. And I think Trash Cat named her.
A trash cat named her Orchid. How nice. Keep an eye out for TJ, Pam. He may want to come in and show
I'm
some art.
watching. I'm
Okay.
watching.
It was Cat that named Orchid.
Oh, was it Cat? Sorry.
It was, you were on right string, wrong yo-yo. You knew it was one of the cats.
Right.
I like that saying. Right string, wrong yo-yo. I might have to steal that if I remember it.
Oh, heavens knows I've stole so many from you.
You didn't stole from me. I don't talk like that.
Bob's your uncle.
No,
I
say Bob. I say Bob's your auntie's live-in lover.
Yeah, I'm Cat's uncle and Trash Cat's grandpa. I have a whole family in here before long. Cool.
Yeah, you'll probably Trash Cat will get a wish eventually. They're at the rate that your snake population's growing.
I hear names all the time and I don't remember them that I think will be a really cool snake name.
Can you keep an alligator in Tennessee?
I doubt it. Unless you have a license or permit. Is somebody asking?
No, I was just wondering. I remember pet stores used to have them. I saw them here in Johnson City.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen one. But I could be wrong. I remember when we had piranhas in the
Yes.
course. Yeah.
Oh, okay. A dwarf caiman is legal, an alligator is not.
Yeah. I
Oh,
actually looked at
you
that.
just sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you see about those what are they called? Sharials? The really long, skinny nosed ones that were they're borderline almost extinct, and they've successfully bred some in captivity and re-releasing them to the
I've seen
wild.
those before. They're really strange looking.
Yeah. I think they're called sharials or carrials.
A type of gator.
Yeah.
Huh.
They've just got a really long, skinny nose and like a ball, tennis ball on the end of their nose.
Oh, I've seen pictures of those. Yeah.
But they're very like they've got a very limited home turf and stuff, and they've been
Gharial. Gharial.
that's it, yeah. And their native area has obviously been quite decimated by humans and whatnot. Yeah, it's good to see another animal can be bred in captivity and maybe helped to bring back. But some of those animals, I guess, where their native territory is still going to be, thrashed by humans. Some of them, their future might only be in captivity and bred by humans, which is unfortunate, but a reality that we've probably got to look at. I know they've been doing it with a couple of species of turtles up and down the east coast of New South Wales, and also some fish, a species of bass, cod, and a species of Australian freshwater cod that was almost going extinct, and they bred in captivity and started re-releasing into the rivers and creeks around the northeast New South Wales.
Yeah.
That program's apparently going quite well.
They did it in Australia with some kind of rainbow fish too. Because I remember reading about the program where they almost lost them because they were like in one creek above a waterfall, and somehow another kind of rainbow fish got mixed in with them. So they were basically losing them, but there was enough people that had them, that were raising them, that they like got them started over again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, see, humans can be all right. Just not very often. No, probably more often than not, humans are okay. It's just that we hear about the worst stuff more often than we hear about the good stuff, isn't it?
What are you opening, Bob?
It's just the lid that I ordered from PetSmart for the 55-gallon tank that False Cobra's in. I've had it pieced together with two different lids. You can't find the 55-gallon lids in the stores. You have to order them. Screen. Yeah, Pam, I think you boxed this up.
And the emus down there as well, Craig. Your local population of emus are drastically under threat, so they're trying to work out ways to conserve the eastern emu, or whatever it's called. It's got a particular name. Whitey already killed off one species of emu. We don't need to be responsible for another one.
Line said that he sent me an email about the artist racks talking about, which he did. He sent some cool, it's pretty cool stuff. But when I first read that, I thought, who was talking about artist racks? What kind of artist racks?
Oh,
Oh.
punctuation is key.
Well, it didn't get bent at all.
Andy.
I was reading a deal the other day where they're getting set to take some DNA from the what is that? What is that critter called that they think that's been like said it was extinct, but people keep spotting it? The little striped tiger dog thing.
Thylacine.
Yeah. They were talking about they've got some DNA from them, and they're going to try to use it to produce some to get them going again.
What did I miss? What animal are we talking about that's been reintroduced with DNA?
They're hoping to do the thylacine, the Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, yeah. And what
Is
about the woolly mammoth? I thought we'd already achieved
Yeah, I think
something there.
They're already working on that, apparently.
Nothing. No one knows anything though about it having happened, right?
No, it hasn't happened yet. I think when you're talking about bringing something back with DNA, that's quite a lengthy process to make it happen. And there's that funky-looking ground-dwelling bird in New Zealand that they thought was extinct from the 1940s or something. And all of a sudden there's sightings and they're coming back. It's like a miniature cassowary crossed with a kiwi.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that. And then there's also here in the States there, and I'm sure Rack will know which one I'm talking about. There was a big woodpecker that they thought was extinct, but they found him again. You know which one I'm talking about, Rack?
Oh yeah, the ivory-billed woodpecker.
Yeah.
My last several live streams included guests that had published work on ivory-billed sightings, while U.S. Fish and Wildlife were trying to declare the species extinct. So had they removed the protection of the endangered species list by declaring it extinct, then lots of the hardwoods would have been sold off the swamps and fragmented the habitat. So the testimony of the guests that I interviewed on my live stream changed the mind of Fish and Wildlife. So they did not lift the endangered status of the bird, protecting the environment. It was pretty cool.
Do you think the motivation to declare it extinct was corrupt for the timber? They wanted to take the timber?
That's, corrupt is a big word, but I think that it was probably monetarily motivated.
Where is their natural habitat?
Swampland, Louisiana, up into Tennessee. Audubon saw ivory-bill woodpeckers when he visited here on the Mississippi River. And he didn't report whether it was in Tennessee or not, but we think based on his other collections and sightings that he did see them in Tennessee. And Florida, from Florida to Tennessee. There's a Facebook group I'm a part of, Mission Ivorybill, and they've got lots of accounts of sightings of that bird, the ivorybill woodpecker. The last person that was credited to have seen an accepted record was a professor right here in Johnson City at East Tennessee State. Dr. Tanner did a study in Louisiana of some birds that were reported to be the last nesting pair and young that were ever photographed. But what we know is just because you don't see one for a long time doesn't mean it's gone. So
pretty much,
sometimes I walk around a blind corner and I'm looking for dinosaurs, you know, because you never know.
That's right. Just
Yeah,
like
and
what?
I was, there's some Native Americans are in Alaska, I think, or might be over into Canada, but I was reading the other day where there's some of the Indians swear that there are still woolly mammoths way up north in areas where people don't go very often.
Wow.
So you never know. You never know. And even if there aren't now, that it hasn't been that many years since there was woolly mammoths running around. It hasn't been like they aren't like way a long time ago.
Is the bird in New Zealand a flightless parrot?
I don't think it's a parrot, but it's certainly flightless. A ratite, if you will.
Kakapo?
Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's like got blue
the
feathers.
adorable
with big...
Kakako birds were hunted to the brink of extinction. For the first time in almost 40 years, New Zealand's quirky and critically endangered kakapo will return to the country's mainland.
It's not that guy. That guy's called a ground parrot, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, that's different. Holy cow. That thing's a monster.
Takahi.
Yeah, the prehistoric Katahi. Holy smokes. But it's pretty. Purple, green, peacock colorish.
Oh gosh.
Type it into chat in case people want to have a look at these awesome looking things. I mean, as if you wouldn't want to shoot it and eat it if you saw one walking around.
Beautiful red bill. I would like for the woolly mammoth to come back.
I must have read your mind, Cat. Couldn't you get him? Go on. Yeah.
According to Google, it says that the woolly mammoth was reduced to isolated populations off the coast of Siberia and Alaska, and by 4,000 years ago they were gone. But like I say, I read before that there's some of the Indians swear that they are still up there. But who knows?
It's when you're talking about isolated land masses, you know, it's just as possible as it is improbable. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what would they be eating though? The whole geography's changed now in the climate, as it were.
I think they're mostly herbivores.
Yeah, there was several. I remember reading. It doesn't say here, but I remember reading there was several different kinds of them too. Like some of them are smaller than other ones. Some of them were really huge, and then there was other ones that were smaller than an elephant. So I don't know.
Or does grass grow there? I mean, like plains grass? I don't know.
Well, I think the thing with mammoths was that when there was, when it was grass growing time, they filled up and they stored massive amounts of fat in their body so they could get through the winter without eating so much.
Like bears.
Yeah, so they could go a fairly reasonable amount of time without food, because it's renowned that they did their mass migrations and stuff to go to better grazing territory when it got too icy and cold. So they probably still have access to that sort of stuff if they're out there.
Here's an interesting article. The long dead woolly mammoth will make its return from extinction by 2027, according to biotech company Colossal. Actively working to reincarnate the ancient beast, last year, the Dallas-based firm received an additional $60 million in funding to continue the mammoth gene editing work it started in 2021.
Yeah, and there's plenty of material and DNA and stuff available on them because they have found whole carcasses frozen in the tundra. I mean, complete with hair and everything. So, yeah. And I remember it was only a year or two ago they found a baby mammoth.
I remember that.
Totally intact. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, still had the hair and everything on it.
Yeah. So now you mentioned a date there, 4,000 years ago. That's much younger. Now they're finding these frozen carcasses. They're having to rethink their whole dating mechanisms.
Yeah.
So it was 20,000 years ago was a very young idea of woolly mammoths having been here, and then 10,000 years, and now 4,000 years. So
yeah, and they found Native American art that has woolly mammoths on it.
And so what was that? Was that a creative artist or an artist recording something they saw?
That they saw, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They found Egyptian symbols in caves in Australia.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
In the American West, they found large quadruped reptile drawings in caves. Think plesiosaur.
Yeah.
So they found these drawings in caves, and then they find the fossils out there at Dinosaur Monument.
Yeah. Well, they're having to rewrite history all the time because
so
now they found humans were in America a lot sooner. I mean, a lot further back in time than they originally thought. They're finding out
not that far back in time. They're gonna, if humans saw dinosaurs, they're gonna have to bring the age of the dinosaur millions of years forward.
And when I was growing up, they didn't think that the humans had been in America that long, but now they're proving that they have been here a long time. And I know it was a big thing. I remember my dad reading it to me where they found Clovis points on the East Coast, but we had a spot in Eastern Oregon where we would go and regularly find Clovis points, which weren't supposed to have been there, because supposedly the Indians weren't there that long on the West Coast, but we found them ourselves. So, but now I saw something the other day on humans in North America, and the Clovis points are nothing. They're finding remains of that humans were here a long time before that even. So there you go, Did that make sense to anybody?
Well, I think.
Yes, we're talking about the dates of history being changed, especially around natural history.
It's constantly changing. Yeah.
It is. I went to school in the 80s, and just about everything in my biology book is revised.
Yeah. And when we were growing up, it was like you'd make fun of people being Neanderthals,
Yeah.
and now they've like found caves and stuff, and are proving that Neanderthals like made clothes, they sewed, they made jewelry, they had
Yeah.
musical instruments.
They're fully
They,
human.
they buried their dead and put flowers on top of their graves.
They kept pets and domesticated animals. Yeah, they're fully human.
Yeah. So they weren't like these ape-like creatures that people thought they were when I was growing up. You know, they were people.
I grew up hearing the term caveman, and it meant very prehistoric and rudimentary, uneducated hunter-gatherer. And then I go out west and find that in the United States we have national parks that are preserving cave dwellings
Right.
of Native Americans. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
why didn't you tell me that when you were telling me about, quote, cave people?
Yeah. And like I say, Neanderthals, when I was growing up, those were your basic cave people that couldn't talk, that they just grunted to each other and all this
Yeah.
shit. Now they're
fully
proving all that
human.
wrong as they
They
find
lived
more
in a
stuff.
cave. What could be smarter? You get a geothermic
Natural
advance.
shelter.
It's 58 degrees year round.
Yeah.
And you got to keep the
if they were-
bears on the front door and you're set.
If they were complete spastics, they wouldn't have, whatever the other ones were, Homo erectus or whatever it was, wouldn't have bred with them and put Neanderthal genes into most of our bloody bloodlines anyway, would they? They're obviously smart enough to communicate and breed with the other Homo species that were out there.
Yeah, there's a huge disconnect in what is going to be found as the eventual truth in current science.
Absolutely. Science advances every day, and it's going to teach us new
No
stuff
question.
every day.
My example of saving my 1982 biology book, we're talking about 20 years. I did a survey and it was all updated. Now it's been 40 years and it's like, well, we don't even need to talk about that stuff anymore. So what was true and dogmatic 40 years ago, it's hardly rubbish now. These timelines are changing anyway. Well, as technology develops, we get better testing techniques.
Yeah.
And as someone lays down a theory, then it's tested 3 or 4 different ways. So
a perfect example is my Bench Aquarium Atlas from the late 70s. I don't know if you're familiar with that book.
No.
Fantastic aquarium hobbyist book. It was a single book in the late 70s. If you buy it now, it's, I believe, a 5 or 6 book volume. 5 or 6 volumes to the set, because so much has advanced in the aquarium hobby. Baensch, I believe it's spelt.
Baensch is correct.
And yeah, I managed to score a vintage copy, which is just one book, cover to cover. It was the entire aquarium hobby, and now it's like 5 or 6, I think, if you want the whole thing.
I love the study. I'm involved. I'm a player. I've been studying it for decades. And I love arguing about it as long as it's toward a learning goal. And it's just like aviation. One day we didn't know how to fly, and then one day we did. And it was a course of activity that happened on a timeline. And even though we didn't know how to fly, we thought we could. So what does that mean? It means that if we don't know how to bring a woolly mammoth back, but we think we can, we definitely can. I don't know if we will or not.
We might as well try.
If you got $60 million extra to keep at it, let's go for it.
Who provided that money? Is that government provided, or
it said the Dallas firm? So I don't know. They usually mention if it's an endowment for the National Science Endowment.
Yeah,
and they didn't. So it could be private funding.
I would imagine so. I don't know if governments would be willing to be that frivolous, like as in if it didn't work sort of thing. But yeah, I always say if you don't learn something new every day, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, I'm a committed lifelong learner, and I learn something every day I want to. Not hard for me to learn something.
I learned today that catfish are a tongue.
A what?
A tongue.
Huh.
Because they've got taste receptors all over their body, not just in their mouth and on their barbells.
Oh. That would help them in finding food in the dark, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Actually, I learned quite a few things today from, which one was it? It was one of the Stuff podcasts. Not Stuff You Should Know, Stuff to Blow Your Mind. They do, every year they do a series on the Ig Nobel Prizes. So they run through, you know, the different theses and whatnot that were up for Ig Nobel Prizes. And yeah, one of them was about they read this story that some old way back when person had written a little story about how the catfish was a tongue because it tastes all around its body and whatnot. It was quite actually well written and a beautiful piece of prose. But yeah, I'd recommend everyone has a listen to the 2-part episode on the Ig Nobel Prizes by. Was it Stuff to Blow Your Mind? I have to go back and check now in the history of what I listened to today. Yeah, it was Stuff to Blow Your Mind. Pretty decent podcast.
Rosie, get down. Rosie,
I want so bad to tell you guys about
come on.
how much the government spends on research, but I know I already told Blacky one time on here, so probably a lot of people already heard it. But Rack might enjoy hearing it, though. You want to hear a story about how much the government spends on experiments?
Yeah, play it on me.
Hang on. Can I guess that it's less than how much they spend on military?
Probably a lot less. No, this is about one time the French government spent like $10 million researching why a man's penis has a head on it. And they came to the conclusion that the reason the man's penis has a head on it is to make it more pleasurable for the woman. So the United States, not to get outdone, they spent $20 million on their own research as to why a man's penis has a head on it. And they came to the conclusion that it was to give the man more pleasure. So these couple of guys decided that they would go out for the weekend out camping. So they went camping for the weekend and they spent like $50 on beer to try to figure out for themselves why the man's penis has a head on it. And they came to the conclusion it's so that you don't hit yourself in the forehead on the upswing.
I believe the actual reason is to scoop out sperm from anyone who's previously intercoursed with their partner.
Okay.
That certainly didn't cost me 10,000 or 10 million or 10 billion to learn that. But I think that's the origin of that, was that if someone else had been there before you, it gives you extra opportunity to scoop out all the other person's business.
I like the theory of not hitting yourself in the forehead.
I like that as well. I certainly got no chance of hitting myself in the forehead with mine. Crikey, we've been all over the place on this one today, haven't we? Mammoths, penises, sold some art even. Who'd have thunk?
Floyd decided to come and slime for a while. Yeah.
Hi. Hello there. Hi there.
That turned
Who's a lovely boy? Who's a lovely boy?
Well, yeah. Huawei's in there. There he is.
It's your turn, Bob.
To do what?
I don't know.
Initiate some other gnarly field of conversation that we can go off on multiple tangents on.
I'm gnarled out.
Bob, tell your dildo story.
No, that'll turn up somewhere and somebody will be in trouble. You know, that kid is probably, gosh, he was probably like 14 or something. He was a teenager. I mean, he was a kid, but and that was over 25 years ago. So he's, what, 40 years old now?
I think the only place you'll be able to find the dildo story is on Bob's OnlyFans, which coincidentally is the only link of mine that Huawei hasn't got on my link tree.
Okay.
Thankfully.
As long as Sam promises not to make a link of it, a clip of it, because it's pretty nasty. I mean, all right, my cousin came to Florida to live while I was living there, and I was about to be moving back to Tennessee anyway. But he came to Florida, and I had rented a house, and a 2-story house, and had 3 or 4 bedrooms. It was an old house, you know, built like in the 20s or 30s, but it had been redone. And he didn't really even unbox most of his stuff because we knew we were moving like in a year or something. But anyway, Butch is my cousin. For those that don't know, he was gay. He's dead now, but he was gay. And amazingly, all of our families knew that, and he was just like the family jester kind of thing. He had a great sense of humor and super intelligent, and we were always trusted with him, you know, and he was never a problem to any of us that I was aware of. But anyway, he was a cool guy. But he came and he moved there, and I finally got him to, why don't you go through some of these boxes so that we won't have to move so much stuff and load so much stuff. And when we move, and you've got plenty of time. And so he did, and he went through, and there was a kid that played next door. It was like 13 or 14, and he was always out there throwing the ball around and stuff. I think he was the only kid on the whole block. But anyway, there was a big, huge hedge, like 12-foot hedge between our houses. So anyway, Butch cleaned out all this stuff and put it out on garbage day, or maybe the night before, out on the sidewalk. And I look out the damn window, my bedroom window overlooked those people's yard. And that kid was out there with this monster dildo, tossing it up in the air and catching it. And I'm like, it took about 3 seconds, and I'm like, Butch, get in here. And he said, oh my God. And he wanted to get the camera, and I'm like, no, you don't want evidence of it, for God's sake. How are we going to get that? So there was no way to get it away from him, and I don't know whatever happened with it, but it wasn't as funny as the first time I told it. But he was, and actually what I saw at first, I couldn't tell what I was seeing. Was I would just see something, you know, being tossed up in the air and spinning. And then I finally figured out what it was, and that's why I knew where it had came from. He had gone, saw it in those boxes, or went through the boxes. You know, kids will do that. And of all things to get out, though, a fucking dildo. And it wasn't just, you know, little 6-inch vibrator kind of thing. It was like a horse cock thing. Anyway.
And did he become a button twirler for the cheerleading squad or for the marching
I
band?
don't know. But you know what? The only thing Butch had to say, I'm like, how are we going to get that away? What are his parents? When his parents get on, I'm like freaking out. I'm thinking I'll lose my nursing license, if nothing else, just because I've got somebody here that puts dildos out in the trash. But anyway, I'm freaking out over it. It was a bigger thing to me than it was, I guess. But he said, well, I cleaned it before I threw it out there. I mean, it was clean. And I'm like, oh, God.
I'm glad that was his primary concern.
Right.
At least it was hygienic.
We had more conversation over the next few days as we awaited the bus squad at the door. But I was like, why didn't you put it in several bags or roll it up in newspaper? I mean, anything. He just threw it in a bag of garbage, things he was throwing away, a box of things, not even a bag. So it was visible, I'm sure. Oh, God. The flying dildo. And that's a totally true story, too. I mean, Jesus. I about had a heart attack. It's not funny. I mean,
it is, but at the time, I'm sure
it is, but
it's
evidently he either hit it or it broke, or I don't know what happened. But if his parents ever knew about it, they never.
Oh, so you never retrieved it from the kid?
We couldn't think of any way.
Yeah,
he's like, right. I'll just tell him it's mine. I'm like, the hell you will. I don't want him to know, that it's like, well, it was in the garbage. No, we talked about it. We couldn't figure any way about it. And then we kept wondering, well, what happened, so what's happening with this? Who knows? He didn't know what it was, or he wouldn't have been throwing it out.
His mom maybe confiscated it.
Oh, gross.
Confiscated it.
It was clean, so yeah.
How long ago was that, Bob?
Repurposed it.
Yeah, how long ago?
It was, I guess I was like 32 or 33, so it's been a minute. 35 years.
Things were different back then. The family could have been mortified. Hey, your kid was out in the yard, we need to have a talk.
Yeah.
And plus, maybe the kid was uncircumcised, so he didn't know what he actually had in his hand,
But what
didn't know what
13
they
or
looked like
14-year-old what 13 or 14-year-old kid doesn't know? And it had testicles on it too. Did I mention that? He knew what it was.
I think that's a given,
had like a handle testicle things on it, so he knew what it was.
Oh man.
Yeah. Now that's the last time I'm ever going to tell that to him. He knew what it was. He had to know. Jesus. Maybe they were just so embarrassed to say anything about it, or that's why we never heard anything. But I just hope the hell they didn't think it was mine. Jesus. God. Only Butch. And that's really not like a big outlier either for some of the stuff he would get into and scenarios. So
what did you say? You were 32 or something at the time?
I'm guessing, yeah.
So that's like what, 30 years ago, early 90s?
Yeah, 35 years ago.
No, mid 80s. So yeah, it's surprising the dildo didn't have hair too.
Yeah.
Damn, that one fell flat, didn't it? Shit. I'll try harder next time.
That made me think of I can't remember the word for it, but they made those little crotch wigs, is what I'll call them. I can't remember the name of them.
Merkin.
Yeah, and they were real popular back when prostitutes had
syphilis.
Yeah, and other things crawling on their real hair, so they would wear those wigs to cover up things. Ooh, I can't imagine. Like, oh, that wig is hot. Come here. No. Crazy history stuff.
That made me think of one of the few times I've never really liked Steve Martin. I don't think he's that funny.
I don't either.
But the one time that I did laugh at him, I just watched part of the movie, and it was Father of the Bride. And they were like, had a big engagement party at his sister's house for his daughter. And the power went out. So his sister told him to go in the bedroom, and in the top drawer of the dresser, there was a big flashlight. So it shows it like there's just a dark screen, and then you hear which made me laugh.
I think my favorite work of Steve Martin is in the movie Roxanne, when he's in the bar, because in Roxanne he's got a big prosthetic nose, and he's all of his jokes that he says about big noses. I don't know if he wrote all the jokes himself, but that was probably the funniest moment of that film. And that's like a version of a Shakespeare play or something, isn't it? Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which one though.
I remember.
I never really liked Steve Martin. The only other movie that I ever saw that I really liked him in was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John Candy, and Steve Martin was the straight guy.
Funny. Yeah.
And that was a funny movie. That was really a funny movie. But Steve Martin didn't even try to be a comedian in that one. He played the straight man in that one.
Yeah. Huawei agrees. Gotcha. What about the Jerk? He was a real jerk in the Jerk.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that one. I never really liked him, so I didn't watch too many of his movies. The other comedian that everybody loves that I never really liked is oh gosh, I can't think of his name now. It just left my mind. I can see him, but I can't think of his name. But he was a real popular comedian. He played the cable guy and stuff.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah. I never liked Jim Carrey. I just didn't think he was funny at all. I thought he just was stupid.
Sometimes that's all you need to be funny.
Yeah. He's quite the I don't know, not theologian, but he says all of that stuff was just fake, that's not real life and all that now, and does commencement engagements and stuff, so he's a totally different person now.
Yeah, GRB, Andy Kaufman was out there wrestling the girls and whatnot. That was a good concept.
Exactly, Carl. Yep. Jim Carrey was amazing, had amazing facial and body and vocal control, but it was totally annoying. That's totally how I felt about him.
That's when I suppose that's when most people learnt about Jim Carrey, wasn't it? In Living Colour.
Yeah.
He was like was he the only whitey on that show?
Just about, if not the fire marshal.
But yeah, he's very I think that's why he went into trying to do like movies like Me, Myself and Irene, where it was more of a serious role, was he wanted to prove that he's not just a one-trick pony.
Yeah. I used to like those two guys on there that they weren't, but they were, I forget which of the Waynans they were. One of them wasn't a Waynan, and one was, I think, but they played the two sportscasters, like the gay sportscasters guys, and they would talk about tight ends and all kinds of terminology from a gay's perspective. It was funny. That was funny.
One of them was Damon Wayans.
And that other guy, you don't see much anymore. I don't know. He was recently, I think it was him, was recently on with Chris Rock or something, like in a little interview. And Chris Rock said, "How old are you now?" About 50. And he said, well, they were 54. And he said, "Damn, Chris Rock did." And it really offended the other guy, or he pretended that it did.
Was the other one Tommy Davidson, or was it the guy that played the policeman in Jumanji, the Robin Williams Jumanji?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the police guy from Jumanji. He wasn't in Living Colour. Might have been Tommy Davidson. I think Tommy Davidson could probably pull off a gay sportscaster pretty well. Oh, wow. Jamie Foxx was in Living Colour? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was in there. He was funny as hell, too. Those Fly Girls were pretty cool. The dancers. In Living Color.
And there was a couple of extra whitey in there, not just Jim Carrey.
Well, guys, it's midnight here, and I'm thinking it's a good time to call the show.
Also, Trash Cat says, "Thank you for finally telling that story, Bob." And I can also say, "Thank you for telling that story so Trash Cat can stop fucking asking about it."
Right.
Oh.
You see why I didn't want to tell it, I hope.
Next
I don't
time they
know.
ask you, 'cause they should have been here last week.
Yeah.
If I had a story like that, I'd be telling it at every party I went to.
Mhm.
I had a good friend who told me one time, and she was totally serious. I'll never forget this. She said her mom came to visit, and she said she was so embarrassed because she was telling me this on the phone, right? And she says, "My mom walked in my bedroom and there's a dildo laying on the floor." And I was like, "Oh my God, what did you say?" And she said her mom stopped in mid-stride and stared at it. And I said, "What did you say?" I said, "It's Pam's."
Shit.
I was like, "What?" She says, "Yeah, I told her it was yours." I was like, "What the hell?" Oh.
Could you say mine's much bigger?
She had actually fixed me up with, like we got a babysitter for the kids at my horseshoer, and his wife had gotten a cabin up in the woods, and it was like before Christmas, but I remember there's a lot of snow up there. But anyway, he got used to this cabin for the weekend and invited me and my ex-husband to go with them up to this cabin. So we got a babysitter for the kids and stuff, and I was all like excited because it was the weekend without the kids, yay. And that didn't happen very often. So Jolinda, the same friend of mine that I just told you about, she fixed me up a box, and it had like sexy pajamas and stuff in it, and she'd thrown in a dildo, right? So I took that up there with me. It was her little care box for our romantic getaway weekend. But when we get up there, it's like the cabin's got one room and like a hide-a-bed on each side of it, so you couldn't really exactly do anything with another couple up there anyway, right? So, but my horseshoer Jim, he was always trying to like embarrass me. He was always trying to come up with ways to embarrass me. So, like, I'm not sure exactly what you'd call it. I'm sure there's a word for it, but he's always trying to embarrass me. But anyway, so the last morning we were there, Jim went to make breakfast. We were getting ready to leave, and the propane tanks were empty that ran the stove. So he's like standing there, and he realized the propane tanks were empty, and we didn't have any more propane. And he's like, and we were at the same time, he was like thinking about making breakfast. I was packing everything up in my suitcase. And he says, well, we don't have any propane. What are we going to have for breakfast now? And I turned the dildo on and I said, scrambled eggs.
Breaks the ice at parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember he looked so horrified. He said, put that thing away. Oh, it was bad.
Have you no shame, woman? And might I say, what a lovely way to end the stream.
Yes, exactly, huh?
Multiple dildo stories in a row. Wait, do I have one?
Okay, so thank you everybody for coming in. And thank you, Kat and Wyway, for the modding. And thank you for buying my little drawing rack. And thank
You're
you
welcome.
for coming with us tonight. Always
Certainly
enjoy it.
welcome. It's in your PayPal.
And thank you, Bob and Blacky and Rack and people who are watching it in the future. See you later, and thank you, and good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Good
Behave
night.
yourselves.